Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Compendium of Discomfort. And if this bling bling doesn't make you feel uncomfortable, I don't know what could. I'm not happy about the situation, but that's what we got. We can change this here, maybe switch it off. Ooh. Yeah, now let's take this off. Put it maybe here for a little backlight. Woo! Yeah, and let's talk about unhappy things. I usually try to be positive on this channel. I want to talk about movies that I actually like. I want to talk about nice things. I became quite okayish at choosing movies that I like to watch. I watch relatively few movies that I actually don't like at all. But if you've been following me on anywhere, podcast, this channel, or social media, you might be aware that there are some directors who I just don't like and I can't fully escape. And this makes me very uncomfortable. One maybe most famous, Takashi Yamazaki. I just don't like his movies. I think they're pretty awful. At least the more political pro-war propaganda movies like Godzilla -1. I'm not looking forward to Godzilla -2. I will watch it anyway. Because it's still Godzilla, and I hope he gets it right this time. I wish that people make good things, even if I'm pessimistic. Another one would be Tetsuya Nakashima. I just don't like his movies, and he will be the more relevant for today, for the movies that we're gonna talk about actually, because I dislike today's movie for many reasons why I dislike his movies. So if you understand at the end of this video why I dislike today's movie, you will know why I dislike Nakashima's movies as well. I don't have to talk about them all that much, but his next movie, The Brightest Sun, I will watch it because the cast is pretty amazing, and he actually at least tricked me once or twice. I remember when I watched Confessions or World of Kanako for the first time, even Memories of Matsuko, I kind of enjoyed them. I kind of liked it. Kamikaze Girls is probably the only one where I'm still optimistic that I might even like it today. But yeah, I just don't like his stuff. And I'm aware, like Yamazaki and Nakashima, both very popular directors, where many people love their films. And I kind of understand why. Just doesn't work for me. So just me being extremely negative today doesn't mean that you might, that you can't enjoy the film. You might like it. We will find out, or you maybe someday. Be prepared that for today's movie I will not have anything, or not anything, but a very little positive to say. But let's heat this up, this whole lighting experiment with some more light. Feels much warmer already. I've got a little glow here, and we're talking about Burn today. Do you know Burn? It's a new movie by Makoto Nagahisa, a very, very well-liked director. And this movie was very, very praised when it came out. It does quite well in the cinemas as far as I know. The cast is pretty impressive. The trailer looked good when I first saw the trailer. Oh, this is pretty interesting. What's that? And then I found out who the director is, and then I wasn't so positive anymore. So who's this director? The director, Makoto Nagahisa, is usually more a guy for commercials, and he has previously done 3 notable things that people actually watched. One is his first feature, We Are Little Zombies, which I haven't watched. I think I was at the Nippon Connection when this plays, I think. Can't be possible. It came out in 2019. In 2019, I wasn't in Germany. Anyway, then probably I just regretted not watching it until I found out who made it. Anyway, so yeah, just the title, Zombies, 2019, Zombies are a topic that's more or less done for me. I don't care. The whole style is everything like 8-bit, 16-bit video game stuff, which at that time was already like now not all that cool or inspiring or new anymore. I just didn't care for anything, and yeah, the director not my favorite, so I haven't watched that yet. What I have seen is a Death Days, and I don't even remember what that actually was. It's I don't know. I didn't even bother. I bothered to write a review. Let's check about a Death Days. I gave it 1.5 stars on Letterboxd, and I wrote, well, Nagahisa's "and so we put goldfish in the pool" already bored me to death. But it's a movie about bored teenagers, so let's say it's part of the concept. And this one bored me to death again. Boring, bored people try to have more or less witty or profound dialogues. Actually, it's just shallow, boring, empty phrases, while the director films those in his innovative style. That means sometimes he puts the camera inside hollow objects and films from the inside, or from below a dish of soba, or he makes it look like an old TV. Everything completely unmotivated and 100% sterile. Even when the protagonist's apartment turns into a garbage dump, it still looks clean, sterile, and follows the most innovative color scheme, teal and orange. And then there are some random nerd culture references because you need those to be cool. Nothing in these 3 short movies feels organic or in any way emotionally captivating, even though it clearly tries. And therefore, each of them feels twice as long as it is. When I watched that goldfish film, I could at least appreciate the style, but now even that feels boring, even though it tries so endlessly hard to be cool. And oh my god, we can basically, for a huge part, just apply this to his new movie Burn. And yeah, and so we put Goldfish in the Pool is his most famous movie. It's a short movie. It's like 28 minutes long, and I remember watching it at a friend's apartment, and he was really excited. He always wanted to show people the new cool movies he discovered or was told about. And yeah, so he showed this to a bunch of people, and in the end I like 5 minutes I felt okay, the movie made its point, can we get to the end? And then it just kept going for another like 23 minutes, and yeah, just showing girls with wet shirts because fan service or whatever. Pretty awful. Looked quite good at that time, and yeah, this new one, mostly like I just wrote about Death Days. Yeah, he tries to be cool, but mostly fails. There are some interesting shots. Let's get the best point out of the way. First, teal and orange happens again, but just at the beginning in one scene, and then it's mostly gone. That's very nice. Thank you very much, Mr. Director. And then he does these shots where I think I've seen that at a Corridor Crew or something like that, where they talk about special effects. Basically, where you get a 3D model of a room based on pictures, which looks a little like funky and not so perfect, which he uses here as an aesthetic for some scenes at the end, or the title is Burn, so there needs to be a big fire scene, which he puts in a more digital looking way too. So the look is not bad per se. The messy parts in this movie work much better than in Death Days. I can't remember Death Days at all, but this time I didn't feel like the little bit messier things don't look messy enough or too planned or whatever. So that I would guess worked better here. But yeah, what is a Burn? Let's talk for a moment about the cast, because there are some pretty cool people. The lead actress is Nana Mori, who has done some cool stuff. I've seen her recently in Hennakoe, the Yugo Sakamoto short movie, but she was, for example, in Kokuho. You might have heard about that. Or, the 5 centimeter per second live action adaptations. And with Oi Yamada, who I recently saw in Mag, where she was pretty cool, and she was in A Perfect Days as well. Let's see. Wataru Ichinose. Wataru Ichinose, who has actually a quite, I think, fast the most human-like role in this movie. At least he has one moment that always almost made me feel something. And he is in a lot of cool action movies usually. He was like in Blade of the Immortal, Rurouni Kenshi in the beginning, Crow Zero 2, Gintama, Blazing Fists, High and Low View movies. So, yeah, and here Yellow Dragon's Village, back to Yugo Sakamoto, and Janitor. So he does a lot of cool stuff. We have Leona Hirota. Very interesting, because she was the 5-star pussycat in Toshiaki Toyoda's A Porno Star. Wonderful. And she was in Love and Other Cults, or Suzuki's Yumeji. Cool, I didn't notice that it's her. And we have Hiroya Shimizu, who was, for example, in the aforementioned A World of Kanako, or in the very good Missing, and I feel like I have seen him recently. He was in Oasis, good movie, and Revolver Lily, stuff like that, good stuff. And we have Kanji Furutachi, a fantastic actor who can act like crazy. He was, for example, in Harmonium or After the Storm. And a lot of other great stuff. Oh, here, The Woodsman and the Rain, wonderful. And we have a lot of people in very small roles. I think in the end credits I saw Hirobumi Watanabe, maybe, if I'm not wrong, but I didn't notice him while watching the film, so maybe just a little cameo somewhere. The cast is basically pretty cool. And the thing itself doesn't sound so bad. Like, a girl runs away from home, and she ends up in Kabukicho. There's like an area where other runaway teens just hang out and do stuff and have a more or less good life and kind of a group. And it's about the life she experiences in Kabukicho. Kabukicho as you might know, like little shady district in Tokyo, but a lot of clubs and bars and stuff going on there. It's yeah, if you want to party, maybe not the worst place to go, but like I mentioned, maybe some shady stuff going on as well. I remember when I went to Tokyo for the first time, most of our group were like quite keen to go there and explore a little bit, while our local a guide basically said, nope, we're not gonna go there, it's too dangerous. It's like 2009, I don't know how it's today, but anyway, so it doesn't sound too bad. The whole poster and all doesn't look too bad. Here we have this nice image. On the back it looks like this, not so bad. The pamphlet looks like this. I bought the pamphlet before I decided whether or not I want to watch the movie, because I suspected, after I knew who the director is, that I might not like it, but I still felt, let's buy at least the pamphlet, and if I don't watch it in the cinema, I'll watch it later, and I might regret not having the pamphlet. No, I'm not sure if I regret having it. Yeah. So what's wrong with this movie, which seems to be so totally fine? And if you wonder why suddenly my glasses shine white, that's because I switched to my notes from Letterboxd, dark, to my notes in white. And yeah, I actually took quite a lot, because I was so terribly annoyed by this movie. It's really, like, it's one of these movies that really makes me angry. And if you look at how much time we already spent without actually talking about the movie, yeah, so let's dive into it and see why I dislike it. So it already starts with this voiceover that asks something like, do you want to know why I burned down Kabukicho? So first, you already know the big final thing that's gonna come. So you might or might not look forward to that. And yeah, I'm not sure if that's a smart choice here. Because then it just cuts more or less straight to a scene where this girl who said that gets beaten up by her father, and I feel, okay, you burned it down because you had a terrible childhood. So, like, during these first few minutes, I already felt like I regret watching this movie. I already felt like, oh my god, I should just leave. I shouldn't be here. Like, the first few minutes already showed me that, but I stayed until the end. I regretted it a few times. And yeah, the other thing, this starting moments show already very clearly. One is this annoying voiceover, which basically explains everything that happens, even though you just see it. There are very few moments that just play out without getting explained. And I know it's relatively common in Japanese media to do that, and I think there's a way to do it in a not annoying way, at least. In one of the next few videos, I will talk about Sakamoto Days, which does it a lot as well. But that's a different kind of movie that works on a different level. And in that case, it just doesn't annoy me as much as here, where I feel like if you want to do like a character-driven drama, maybe you should have the characters actually play it out and just evoke the emotions without explaining what you're supposed to feel or what is going on. Didn't work for me at all. the other thing that we get is the father has his belt, and he's a very religious Christian and stuff, and he hits his daughters like on the back, and which is presented in a very slow-mo, elegant style, which I don't know if it's a good choice. So first, this contrasting thing of having violent scene with some very quiet classical music, like this contrast, it's very, very overused and boring and not very creative at all. And depending on how you show it, in this case, you just see him like moving his arm. You don't even see the actual violence. It didn't really work for me at all as a contrast, because it's just like something there. And I don't know, this whole opening already completely fails in my eyes to transport any emotion, even though it obviously tries very hard to evoke emotion. So it's already pretty awful. And then we go over to her escaping. Different thing. First, she prays to God together with her sister that father please dies, which takes them 10 years until he actually does it, and mother then continues to beat them up. So there's no other thing to do than escaping this hell and just running away. And very unsubtle, like I said already, very much like, I basically already know why we get to the point where we get eventually, and everything else in between will just emphasize what we already know. Her life sucks. And it's just a complete waste of time to watch anything else of this movie. You could just get to the conclusion and skip everything in between. Anyway, so she escapes, and she finds an online contact to a guy who's called Kami, like God. God is the one who helped her. God killed her father. God is nice. God is wonderful. God is love. Or maybe not. We get introduced to a bunch of other characters, almost all girls, and they're basically all introduced with one character trait, like this is the girl who pees, this is the girl who cries, this is the girl who shaved her head so she doesn't get raped anymore, and just random information like that, like you would expect in a zoo, like a little sign, this is this animal, it does this. And most of them don't get anything else to do than just having this one character trait, like peeing everywhere, and that's it. It's pretty dehumanizing almost, because nobody in this movie has any character. Like the father is just evil, mother is just evil, daughter is just a victim, and that's basically what Nakashima does as well. If you watch his movies, there are like victims, there are bad people treat the victims badly, and then there's more scandalous suffering, and there's just scandal. We just need something the normal people can be shocked with. Oh my God, this kid just pees on the street. Oh, scandal. And basically we watch them like zoo animals. Like, they spend some time together, have a good time, pop some pills and do stuff. And basically we just watch them and, oh my God, these kids are so rotten, and it's just awful like a zoo, but it's kind of entertaining because we like some naughtiness in our entertainment without being involved by ourselves. So this is all really, really terrible. And yeah, it's all so superficial because, like I said, you get the voiceover that explains basically everything. There's almost no acting needed besides just looking at the things that go wrong. I never felt that Nana Modi's character, I think she's called Juju, because she, of course, stutters and therefore can't say her name properly, so they just call her Juju. And yeah, she's basically most of the time just there and more or less depressed by what's going on. Like when they start using drugs, she doesn't really want to do it, but the peer pressure, peer pressure because they're all so bad. Oh, and there's a group of little kids in animal costumes that basically just behave like animals. It's all, yeah. Yeah, and it's all somehow stylish, and then, yeah, Kami sings a song about how nice it is to be alive, and that was the moment where I almost had a different emotion than just being bored to death. Didn't last long. Didn't save anything. Yeah, but it's all kind of stylish, kind of cool. Then we have the guy who likes to cut his arm, and then he has this little glitter slime, and he makes a ladder with a little guy who wants to climb the ladder, and it's just what are we even watching here? It's yeah, like I said, I didn't feel like any of these characters really have anything going on besides being kind of strange or at least different from society. And yeah. Anyway, after doing some drugs, the protagonist gets knocked out and found by the police, and the police takes her to a facility where people want to help her, and she meets a girl and they escape and go back into this hellhole to commit more sins. And one funny thing here is there's a lady in the hospital. She's a police officer, and she's very nice to her and tries to support her a little bit. She's not doing very much. She's just there and talking. No, but not too negative. We get a sense of, yeah, police tries to do their job, but in the end they make the situation just worse by putting her in this terrible facility. And yeah, the rest of the movie is mostly just everything going down because our protagonist then wants to save her sister, and therefore does some papakatsu, basically prostituting herself, because that's what her new girlfriend does, and the girlfriend has a boyfriend who is the number one, or who wants to be the number one host of Kabukicho, so she wants to support him. So basically, she pimps out her more or less girlfriend to financially support her boyfriend, who obviously doesn't love her because he's a host, and you don't start a relationship with a host because everybody knows that hosts just want your money. And that's how a lot of actual girls end up in prostitution, because they can't pay the bills for the hosts. Yeah, and of course stuff just goes south from there, and in the end we find out that all these people are just scum and the worst, and everybody is a liar. People betray her, and that's why she has to burn down Kabukicho in the end, and the movie is more or less over. Yeah. The one guy in this whole movie who seems kind of nice-ish dies because our protagonist is too selfish and wants something nice for herself instead of helping him. Yeah, everybody else, like I said, is either just there and kind of and yeah, nobody really cares for these girls. while nobody cares for the guys either, even though the guys all do horrible things like going to young girls who prostitute themselves, or seemingly this one girl who just doesn't want to be raped, or the obvious scummy host who even throws his more or less fake girlfriend away after she gives herself an abortion. It's what you do. And all these guys don't have to fear any consequences. Nobody says, oh, you're, by the way, a piece of poop. Nothing happens to them, but the girls all have to suffer because that's what women do in Japanese movies. I mean, it has a long tradition to have movies about the suffering of women, but I'm not sure if Mr. Nagahisa has first ever met a real human, understands anything about women, understands anything about humanity or whatever, or he just likes to rub his little pickle at the view of girls suffering. I don't know what this whole... Now, of course, the protagonist at some point needs to turn into her father, and all violence is, of course, kind of stylish, and even she satisfying over 500 customers is kind of a cool montage. And I just felt disgusted by basically everything I see without, I don't know, feeling anything for the characters. I didn't really care. I just felt like, why is this presented in this way? Why is there not the tiniest bit of compassion for these girls who obviously all suffered a terrible trauma? It's not only the girls, the guys there too. It's just completely inhumane, everything. Like, why do you show me a movie about outcasts just to come to the conclusion that the girl basically just should have taken the beating and stayed home because that would have saved her a lot of trouble, and that would have been the best thing? Or why is the only person in this movie about social outcasts the police officer who even like makes jokes about the girl who just survived a terrible event, and like she wakes up and is like, is this heaven? And the police lady is like, no, this is just kidding. What's wrong? Why do you make fun of traumatized people? It's just disgusting. I don't know. I don't know if the director hates women, or just hates humans, or just finds it funny, all these things. I don't know. There's a video on YouTube I haven't watched. I can't be bothered to listen to this guy talking, where he talks about the the interesting aspects of this part of Kabukicho where they stay, but I can't imagine that he's actually interested in the people. He's just like, I don't know, like he goes to the zoo, and the elite guy is like, oh, look at this trash that's creeping around here. Let's make a movie about them. Let's make fun of them. Let's make fun of their horrible living conditions, and let's make fun of trauma and stuff. I don't get it. It's just an awful, disgusting, nasty movie that has some nice shots and some good actors in it. But it's just, I don't know. What? Why can't you just, I don't know, meet people and actually talk to humans, or just get a script writer? He wrote it himself. Obviously, he's unable to write a decent script. Is just, I don't know. If yeah, the whole movie feels just like what's his name? The other dude, World of Kanako director Tatsuya Nakashima, on a budget, and he does quite a lot of nice stuff with his budget. That's not the point. It's just like morally completely corrupt, disgusting. Yeah, no, like, ugh. There's not much more I can say about this movie. It just hates humans and just gets a, like, yeah, the little thing down there starts to stand when they look at suffering people and yeah, enjoy making fun of them, and yeah. I guess this has a real chance to be my worst movie of the year, and I hope I'm not gonna watch anything that's even worse. Like even like questionable, trashy B or C movies at least have something likable about them. At least have some character that you enjoy or that you like. Like even here, the protagonist just doesn't do anything. The only active thing she does is run away, and everything else she just, and then even that is not motivated by herself. Yeah, the beating of the parents makes her do that, and all the time she's just passive, being used and abused by the people around her, and it's just, oh, like there's nothing likable besides this one guy who then just gets killed off because we need more drama, more scandal, and more like, whoa, I wonder why he killed himself. Yeah. It's shit.